Welcome back to Pixel Junkies. You're listening to the Pixel Junkies podcast, episode 12. I am one of your hosts, Rory DC.
I'm your other host, Out of the Porch Night.
I'm just Aaron.
And just Andrew. How are you all doing?
Good, very good.
I was waiting for you.
Oh, okay. Sorry about that. Yeah, I should have really kicked it off. Yeah,
He's fiddling with his knobs.
I'm really tired. I'm really tired. I have exams next week, and things have been very, very crazy.
I got you home by 12 last night, so I don't know what you're tired
That's
for.
true. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
Roy.
So, this is the Pixel Junkies podcast. We talk about various things relating or not relating to what we do, which is game stuff or movie stuff or whatever.
Also, if you're listening on the radio, go to PixelJunkies.ca, find the full hour-and-a-half version when it comes out Monday.
Yeah.
And
watch our special episode 100 last week.
Yes, that
Happy
was
Easter,
very good.
everybody.
Oh, yeah, happy Easter.
Oh, yeah. It is Easter.
Happy Easter.
Easter Monday. So do you guys have Easter dinner on Sunday or Monday?
That's Sunday.
Yeah.
Sunday.
You're going to say Monday, aren't you?
Nope.
Oh. Who has it on Monday, then?
A lot of people.
I have
Really?
exams, so I'm thinking neither, actually.
Well, I never understood why people would have it on Monday, because it's like, if you have it on Sunday, then you get the next day off and you can just like relax and not do anything.
Oh,
But if
you
you have it on a Monday, it's like you gotta clean up everything and put away stuff, and then you it's like a wasted day almost.
And then you're like stuffed full of turkey and...
Yeah. And if there's a Grand Prix on, which there isn't this week, unfortunately, then you
That's
can
too
just
bad.
watch that and be antisocial and not talk to your family.
So basically par for the course for you.
Yeah.
So our 100th special came out
I
today.
said that.
Did we?
But it was last week.
It came
or
out last
yesterday.
Friday if you're when you're listening to this.
It's hard to do these like live, sort of, because they're not, you know?
Oh, well.
It's like you gotta sort of anticipate for tomorrow for the radio, but also Monday.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, yeah, because the radio listeners are
It's
listening
come
this
out. It's our
Saturday.
most recent special video.
Yeah, the most recent video.
Unless you're listening to this 2 weeks after it came out, in which case it's...
Suffice to say, it came
second
out
one.
on April 3rd.
There you go.
Oh yeah, Roy, I'm gonna say it's pointless because Jordan's not here. You probably noticed, which means Rory is also not being featured in the video again because of Jordan's camera.
That's
but
true.
I've noticed that in editing, when you turn that monitor towards the camera,
Yep.
and there's not like a blue screen, if it's like a white screen, it turns everything in the room yellow.
Oh,
And
is
I
that
can't-
what happened
that's what
that week?
happens.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
the
because I
camera
noticed
tries to
I started
adjust.
turning yellow, and I'm like, why
'cause
is that?
There's like one bit in there where you like turn it away and you can see it, like you can see the camera change the white balance.
Sorry about that.
I saw a really funny video where a guy was just filming himself and his friends on his couch, and he took off his sweater, and he was pale like me, and the camera whitewashed the hell out of the scene. It was like, and it was like, oh my, like everything came, it was like a bloom effect happened, and it was really funny.
Now, normally, the two other cameras we use are handy cams, but the one that Jordan has is a Polaroid Cube. So there's no white balance presets on it. It's just automatic.
We strive for quality here at Pixel Junkies.
Yeah.
Do we?
Certainly
So
not consistent.
to me.
what's been going on this week, guys?
Well, not a lot, honestly.
One game got a delay. Quantum Break?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Delayed until 2016 sometime.
Is it that Xbox exclusive game that nobody's going to play?
I'll
I'm
play
gonna
it.
play it. It looks good.
Does it?
It's
It looks fun.
Who made it? Who's making it?
The guy
Sam
who
Lake.
made Max Payne.
Who made that?
Yeah, Sam Lake, Max Payne. Yeah.
In Remedy?
Remedy Games. Thank you. Yeah, it's Remedy Games. They made Max Payne 1 and 2 and Alan Wake.
Yeah.
I didn't like Alan Wake.
Why not?
Never played
I
it.
just didn't find it scary. Because like after the first time a buzzsaw attacks you, when you enter into another lumberyard, you're like, oh, hope nothing animates itself and attacks me. And like the creepy shadow people, like I'm like the first time they appear, I'm like, creepy shadow people. I'm like, oh wait, I have a flashlight, and they're weak to that.
If you
I heard
play it
I heard the DLC, whatever that was. I heard that was better.
Yeah, it was good.
American Nightmare. or
If you
something.
play it on hard mode, yeah, it was American Night Mode.
Night
Night
Watch.
Whatever. I'm thinking hard mode.
Night
if you play,
tablet.
if you play it on hard mode, it's much more frantic because
Something
your
funny.
flashlight lasts like no amount of time.
Oh,
So, yeah.
I did. I know. I didn't buy it. It came with my Xbox.
Oh,
Brag about it.
yeah.
I will. Yeah.
It's on PC now too, so it's not
Been on PC for a while, isn't it?
Yeah. But if
Forever.
someone hasn't played it and is interested in it, buy it on PC.
Future Shop closed.
Oh yeah, that happened this week. Is that local or is that across Canada?
That's across Canada.
So they're like shutting down that
As far as I know, they're most of the Future Shops are either closing down or downsizing. The one in St. John's is gone, which is where we live. Because I used to work there, and I was talking to friends who still worked there, and apparently they just came in on Saturday. They all got brought into the staff room, like, yeah, we're shutting down. You're all out of a job.
And meanwhile,
apparently
everyone over at Best Buy parking lot was like,
Well, apparently somebody came by. The guy, Junior, we called him. I'm not gonna give his real name.
Junior.
He was a really funny guy. He used to be our car install technician for Future Shop. He ended up going to Cartoons? There was some like
what
Car
a
place.
horrible name.
yeah, something
Place
like
for
that.
cars.
And he to install like the sound systems and brakes and automatic starters and stuff.
Is
in
that there on
cars.
O'Leary?
I think so. Anyway, so
Is
Is that seriously the name of it? Cartoons?
it's something like
I
that.
hope
Iranians.
so.
Anyway, while we had to send them our customers because we didn't have a car install technician for the longest time. Yeah. And so we ended up, like, we knew the people who worked there, they were friendly, and apparently they drove by the day that Future Shop closed, and they took a picture of their, like, car with their logo on it. And they,
Rory's not seated, but you can't see that.
no, Rory, put your shirt back on.
Well, good God.
All of a sudden the cameras get whitewashed, there's just like a glow.
So pale.
Apparently they pulled up in their car and with in front of Future Shop they took a picture with their Cartoons audio or their logo on the car being like, oh, too bad Future Shop's closed anyway, you should come by Car Audio. And some people were like, I find that really offensive, and I'm like, that's hilarious, because really I'm not sad that Future Shop is gone. I am sad that all my friends are out of a job though.
I think if you've ever worked in retail, you'll know that everybody finds everything offensive. It's funny how ridiculous it is. How offended people get at the smallest insignificant things. I used to work at Staples, and
That's even worse.
yeah.
Staples is more conservative, I feel, than Future Shop.
I liked working there. It was, dealing with customers was not fun, but it wasn't a bad place to work.
It's a good spot to do Christmas shopping. I did some shopping there last year, and there was nobody in the building. There was like 6 staff, and that was it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a nice place to get, like, office supplies for, like, cabinets and chairs, and so I need to get a new desk chair. So I'll be going to Staples first and seeing what they got.
So are all the Future Shops converting to Best Buys?
Yeah.
Try Island Furniture.
What about this one here? Because Best Buy is literally
That's
across the road.
why it's closing down.
So what's happening to that spot?
That spot, it's probably, that's not owned by Future Shop. That was owned by whoever owns that building.
Right.
So they'll probably tear down all the Future Shop stuff.
What's next to it? Michael's?
I wonder what's going to happen to the merch inside, because they just shut down.
No, Michael. I can't remember if Michael's is next to Staples.
Michael's
Or-
is next to Staples, and Old Navy is next to
Maybe
Future
we'll
Shop.
Yes,
just get
you're
another
right,
clothing
yeah.
store.
I'd say it'll just become surplus from Best Buy.
I would imagine.
We're not going to try to make it PJ headquarters. Try to do like a takeover.
That'd be awesome. Just like 4 of us in the middle of a big warehouse with like wires and
All
stuff
of a
hanging
sudden, all
down.
of our videos have super echoey audio.
Hello.
Welcome back.
We could probably afford to own it for like 45 seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It'd
exactly.
be an awesome 45 seconds.
Enough time to make like a vine.
yeah, we could make a vine out of it. That's it.
Like pee in various corners.
2 vines. Like, this is our new building. And then the next one, like, this is our old building.
Exactly. Yeah, we could sell it as like a 1.5-minute DVD
Oh, I
called
can tell
Worst
you-
Investment Ever.
I can tell you about all the crazy stuff that happened at Future Shop, or just this crazy things, because they're close and it doesn't matter anymore. Do you know what the code was to enter the staff room with our secure code lock?
Hope it's not the same one as the Best Buy one, otherwise we've given away a huge security secret.
I doubt it. I think it's individual per store. It was 4. You hit 4 and you enter. Just 4.
We might have just broken down the entire system.
I don't know if that's the worst combination ever or the best combination ever.
It was really easy to remember.
The
'cause you
worst,
just
because
thumbed
if you
four.
were to think that maybe it's 3 numbers, any number that you start with 4 would presumably get you in. Like,
you need to hit, like,
No,
an
because if you
anchor
hit
button.
another number, it locks out.
but if you press 4, it doesn't like bing or
You have
something.
to go 4
No.
enter.
Oh, okay.
Although you do hear the clunk clunk of the lock.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna try 4, 8, 9,
I think
2,
if I
4.
was a thief though or something, I was trying to break in, and I was like, "Oh, I guess I'll try a number 4," and you hear the clunk clunk. You're like, "Oh God, they're coming out."
We actually there was actually at the university there was a bunch of society room break-ins like last year, and yeah, go ahead.
like science or like geography society. Or,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. And so we in the math society, a room where basically no one knows where it is. Although
And
we should
nobody
go
wants
there
to
after
go.
because I got a bunch of garlic fingers in the fridge right there.
Stop leaving stuff in math society room.
But they're garlic fingers. Anyways, nonetheless,
Stink out the fridge.
we thought we were protected by obscurity alone, right? All these other society rooms are breaking into. No one even knows what math society is. Most math students don't know where it is. It's like in this awkward corridor. It looks like a broom closet, and
Pretty much is a broom closet.
Yeah, it's actually-
except for the fact that Adam Gardner sleeps in there.
it probably was a broom closet at one point. And so one day we were like, oh, there's $700 missing. Surely someone just took it and deposited it. And so we talked to the guy we thought took it and deposited it. He's like, I didn't do anything. So yeah, we lost $700 and a whole bunch of booze. And
That's
we
not
were
good.
surprised. Yeah, but every society room pretty much got broken into.
Even political science? Does
I
political
don't
science
know.
have society? I'm in political science faculty. I went to one society meeting, didn't really care for it, and we met in some random classroom, like, so why aren't we meeting in the society room? And I was like, it's not in this hallway, so we figured it would just be easy to meet here. I'm like, well, where is it? Nobody was able to give me a straight answer. The most I got was, it's somewhere in the university center, which is a building.
That's where we are right now.
It's where we are right now. We're on one side of like a multi-tier bridge-connected building,
This is
which
one
is
of the
two
smaller rooms, and it's a 3-studio
and
radio
it's two
station.
buildings over from where we are.
It's like some super exclusive club that
Yeah,
you all thought you belonged to, but you didn't actually.
yeah.
CNA had some break-ins too, not too long ago, maybe
Yeah?
a year. Yeah, like when we were there, we always had
Which campus did you go to?
Prince Philip.
Uh-huh.
They had there was
PHP, man.
2 rooms. I'd never call it that.
That's no, it's
Totally a coding joke.
No, it's PP. Wait,
PPD.
PPD.
Yeah,
Where's PHP coming from?
I don't know, coding joke.
I always call it PHP. Nobody ever corrected me.
PHP.
All right, go ahead.
There were 2 rooms filled with iMacs, and there was a door right next to where those 2 rooms were. And all the instructors always said, like, if anybody wants to have a steal something, this is the spot to do it. Because there's like a crappy lock on the exterior door.
Next day, release it on.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh God.
We had all graduated, and we went back for there was a design like live stream or something that they all invited us back to watch. And so yeah, we went in, and our instructor was talking about how they had a break-in or whatever, and they robbed like whatever it was, $30,000 or $60,000 worth of iMacs. Just like you just walk in a door, turn right, and then there's like 30 or 40 brand new iMacs just sitting on the table. Like, I'll just take
the
this.
projectors?
No, like the the built-in computer. Like the
IMAX, not IMAX.
Oh, okay.
IMAX.
Yeah. That was always confusing about those.
Yeah.
But they must be like $5,000 or $6,000 each.
We got to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to talk.
Yep.
And we are back on the Pixel Junkies podcast. Before the break, we were talking about IMAX, not IMAX. And
But speaking of
I
movies,
don't know if we were having a discussion about that, other than
close enough.
other than just stating facts. Have you guys ever come to a point in a video game or in real life where you have to put in a code and you don't know the code, but you need the code in order to advance in some way?
many times.
Like, I mean,
So you resort to just start,
Yep.
Typing in code.
111. Yeah.
Every game from the 90s, like in the Doom engine or whatever it was, it's like the first thing you got to do is like find a key or whatever, or punch in some numbers.
Yeah.
Just like, I'm not going back or looking for this. 1111. 1112.
I did it. There's
That's
I don't do it for I did it for 4 lock combinations, not any like 9 lock combinations.
Yeah.
So it would be I would be like 1-1-1-1, 1-1-1-2, 1-1-1-3, and I eventually go through. Especially for like some of the Animus puzzles in this Assassin's Creed 2, I would just be like, try every combination, and I would just do it. I get to the end, like, bing! I'm like, aha! Brute force repetition beats creativity every time.
I get to like 1-1-1-8, and I'm like, wait, it's probably not going to be in the ones. That's too obvious. 9-9-9-9, 9-9-9-8.
I don't know if I have anything like that, but I definitely. I remember I was writing this code for this one thing, and the professor, he had this thing. It was like, talk about the things that result in interesting graphs. And I was like, I don't know what those are going to be, but there's 1,024 possibilities, and I just spent hours and hours running every single one, and then decided what the interesting ones were. It worked out well, I hope. I just submitted it an hour ago. This happened like yesterday.
I think Alien Isolation has the best keypad scenarios in any game I've played.
Where you're frantically punching numbers and you're like...
Because it's not just like, go to the keypad and hit A or whatever. It's like, you need to move the hand to like hit the numbers, so you can like hit in between, and you're like, oh crap.
Can you use the numpad on your keyboard?
I don't know. I like the idea of having to move the finger, because like if the alien's right behind you, that's the whole.
No,
like,
man.
Yeah.
If I'm playing a PC game and it comes to a code combination, if it doesn't let me use the keypad on the keyboard to type in the numbers,
that makes it less exciting, I think.
No, that works for PC, but I like it on console because it adds a level of. Or I like it when if you have like a 4 lock, you can use the A, B, X, and Y. I've only seen it in 1 or 2 games, but you can use the buttons as the buttons.
Mass Effect 1 let you do that.
Yeah. There's a moment in Alien Isolation where I was at a keypad, and it wasn't. It was a hacking minigame I had to do. Where you got to move the cursors.
Yeah. And
I was doing that, and all of a sudden I heard a clunk behind me. I'm like, oh god, open the door! And then I unbroke the lock, and I was like, yes, I'm gonna make it. And it was like beep, 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 and the door took like 3 seconds to open. I'm like, I'm dead, and I was.
I always assume that once you got to one of those points, like if you got to a save point, or if you got to a keypad, then you were safe until you came out of that like animation.
Yeah.
You're not.
No.
Like you're like, oh god, I'm at the keypad now. Okay, just number, just. You're like, yeah.
The best part is when you're all of a sudden your character looks down, like, what are you doing? And there's like the tail sticking out. You're like,
yeah.
Oh.
And then you see the hand come down. And it's like, yeah, all right.
I like how when the alien makes his debut in that game, it's just kind of like it doesn't like jump at you or anything. It just slowly like slumps to the floor, and you have to be like getting under the desk.
Yeah, the sound in that game is awesome. Like the ridges in its tail, you can hear each one like clunk, 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 like sawing over the table.
It's definitely a game you want to play in the pitch black with headphones.
Oh, yeah.
It's also a game that you want to play on the current gen because my friend has a copy of it on PS3, and it still plays really well. Yep.
Yeah.
Wow.
And
What game are we talking about?
Alien Isolation. It looks acceptable, but I've played it on the PS4, and I hate being this guy, but it does do a lot, especially with the smoke and just light graphics and effects. It does a lot for the atmosphere.
Yeah,
that was a great game.
There were moments in that game where, like even on PC with a Titan Black, it was starting to struggle a bit. Like there was an obvious frame rate dip, so I can't imagine what they had to get rid of to run it on a PS3.
Yeah.
I never noticed any frame rate dips.
You can almost hear the
through it.
No, I haven't played through it.
Yeah, there's some bits where you'll notice it.
There's when I put it in my PS4 runs it fine, but when you put it into the PS3, it's like the smoke starts coming out of the PS4. It's like, please put in MSG4 again. I can't take it.
What are you doing to me?
So what have you guys been playing recently?
I played through the Fast and the Furious deal, standalone for Forza Horizon.
Was that any good?
Yeah, I mean it's not great. It's a prequel to the 7th movie, actually.
I haven't seen the 6th one. Is it worth watching?
If you want to laugh at really bad action, then sure.
Oh, the 6th Fast and Furious movie?
Hilarious.
No, it's not good.
Yeah, it's not good.
I say that as someone who loved the 1st and 3rd movie.
Yeah.
And didn't hate the 2nd one as much as most people did.
But I like the 5th one, so would I like the 6th one?
Is the 5th one
Maybe.
the one where they
It's the heist movie. Yeah, it's the one that stops being a
They
racing
drag
movie.
the safe through the city and kill millions.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, that's the thing that's struck me most about that film. Actually,
That scene was the scene that destroyed. It beat Blues Brothers' record for destroying the most cars in the filming of a single film, and then that was subsequently beat by Transformers 3.
6 was the one with the world's longest runway.
I thought,
if you recall that scene.
Oh my god! I watched the 6th one this week actually.
Oh really?
And
you remember it vividly then?
Yeah, I heard about the runway thing. I was like, okay, they're on the runway now. Let's see how long this lasts. It's literally like 20 minutes.
Yeah,
and I calculated it. It's like they're going at least 60 miles an hour here because there's a couple like speedo shots where you can hear them gearing up, going through like 4th, 5th gear.
Yeah.
There's one where they're driving an Alpha Julietta and they're like 4th or 5th gear, but it's like okay, they're obviously doing.
Let's say at least 100 kilometers an hour.
Yeah, at least 100 kilometers an hour, and they're, it's 17, 20 minutes long.
Yeah.
And it like cuts back and forth, and you could kind of say like, okay, well this scene might be happening at the same time as this scene. They just obviously can't show both at the same time. But even still, it's like there's no like how long is this runway? It's longer than the longest runway in the world.
It's much longer.
If I remember my simple physics, I'm gonna do a quick calculation here.
It's really really horrible.
How many cuts are in that scene? How many?
From like the beginning of the runway scene to the end,
Yeah.
probably 300.
Yeah.
How do you feel about cuts in movies, like in action scenes specifically? I think longer takes are infinitely better.
Longer takes can be infinitely better depending upon, well, actually a lot of times depending on what music you're using.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're appreciated as much by that audience though. I don't think they would be like I don't think they would notice. Like the people who watch Fast and Furious would be like, like, oh, that was cool. But it's like, you realize that was like an 8-minute take where
But I mean, watch a Jackie Chan action movie and then go watch, I don't know, some other movie that's come out in the past 10 years.
Right, I know what you mean.
Some North American made movie.
Something happens and then it cuts and it already happened.
You'll see the wind up to the punch and it'll cut to a guy getting hit and it'll cut to the...
Yeah, sometimes cuts are really bad. Like, that was actually one of my biggest things I noticed that I really didn't like about Elysium, actually. Is like especially the Charlton Copley Matt Damon fight scene at the end, you just like couldn't see what was going on, which is a shame because like I've actually I was watching very closely because I'm interested in fight choreography, and there was actually some very nice fight choreography in there, but it was just totally destroyed by having these really weird jump cuts.
Yeah, there was a fight in one of the Bourne movies that I thought was really well done. It was almost all one take.
Okay, yeah.
James Bond recent James Bond movies have been good for those as well.
Yep.
But absolutely. I think the reason is it's using one of the cinematographers from the Bourne movies.
Okay. So, using that math, which is very light, because all you're doing is just taking the 100 kilometers an hour, dividing it by 20 minutes, right?
I'm a math guy. I know what you're doing. I know what we're
doing. No, I'm not explaining it to you. I'm asking you if I did it right.
Yeah.
Jesus. So most runway, the average runway is 1.8 kilometers. This was 20 kilometers.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's
from here to Belle Island.
Yeah,
just about.
And the plane was on the ground for most of it.
Exactly. Was flying it.
I don't know.
I like to think if it was done in one take, it would just show them get to the end of the runway and turn around and go back to the which is what I'm sure they did in actual filming.
It's funny because in the movie, when the plane, stops at the end of the runway, I'm not going to spoil how it stops.
Yeah.
Fiery explosion. They're at the end of the runway. They're like 5 feet from the end of the runway. It's like, oh, that was convenient.
Yeah.
They look down, they see the runway just curve off into the distance.
So, an interesting statistic. Well, I mean, it's not a particularly interesting statistic, but it has...
Here we go.
Leads off to an interesting point.
Okay.
It's barely a statistic. So, The Witcher 3, they charted it now at 200 hours. This I like a lot, actually, because, one of the things I've always said about, when people talk about the different consoles... Basically, one of the things that always goes into the debate is, which one has more games. And rarely does it ever matter by a certain point in the console's lifetime. I think once you have enough games like The Witcher that are 200 hours, games you could put,
200 hours into.
Yeah, 200 hours.
That's quite a long 200 hours, though?
It's genuine 200 hours for main quests and side quests.
Because the first game, I've been playing through that, and... the first, there's maybe an hour bit at the beginning, and then you get into this village bit, and then it's literally run to the other side and get a thing, then bring the thing back to the guy at the beginning, and then go to the other side of the thing again. And you literally have to do that like 50 times. It's really annoying.
I see what you're saying, yeah.
The thing is, though, you're supposed to be doing side quests and stuff on the way. So instead of going straight to one side, straight to the other side, on your way to one side, you do a bunch of stuff. Then you get there, you do that.
I just want to finish it so I can play the second one.
Yeah, see, you're trying to get through it as fast as you can, and I think you're
I don't know why you can't fast
enjoying it less because of it.
Well, you still have to run all over the map. It's one small area.
You do have to run around, but I'm saying there's stuff to do to make it not as straightforward.
You do have to do a lot of the side quests though in order to advance, because you need to like get a thing, and you don't have enough money at the beginning, so you got to do a side quest to get the money, and then you got to do another side quest to learn how to use the thing you bought, and it's like. Yeah.
So,
I've never encountered what Aaron's talking about. Every time I play an RPG like that, I go for the completionist.
I know. I feel like I'm like there's a lot of time in between where I'm just like staring at the screen, holding W, waiting to get to where I'm going, and then it's like, oh, thanks for coming all the way here. Can you bring this back to where you were from?
I don't do the completionist. I just do whatever I think. Like especially that's one of the things I like about Elder Scrolls. I just do whatever I think might be cool.
Yeah,
I'm like, this seems like it might be a cool side quest line.
Yeah,
I'm gonna do that.
That's what I like most about. That's why Skyrim is probably my favorite RPG. Because that was the one game I felt like you could just be wandering around and then just stumble across a cool cave or something and be like, oh, there's an ancient amulet here, except it's only part of an amulet, and you got to go out and find the other two bits and take it to a third cave that'll seal all the amulets together, and you'll get a really cool amulet. And by the way, that amulet is really cool. It gives you plus 30 mana, health, and stamina.
That's what I love about Bethesda games, because you can genuinely go into it not knowing what you're supposed to do, and then not do what you're supposed to do.
I got to level 10 before I realized that you could level up skills. I hadn't found that screen yet, and I was just like, why do I keep dying? I'm like, oh, and I bought a bunch of skill points.
You can't just go anywhere you want in the Elder Scrolls Online, which is one of the biggest drawbacks of that game. Because if you go to the north of the map, at least if you start off as Aldmeri Dominion like I do, you will get eaten by bear, almost definitely, or some other creature which is much higher level. There's a lot of problems. We're going to do a video on that game.
Yes.
Is there a reason to go up there, though? Or is it just to, like, explore?
Well, yeah, it's just sort of the typical Elder Scrolls things. Pick a direction, walk in that direction, you know?
Can you quick save in that and stuff?
No.
Oh.
No.
Well, it would just be, like, reload last save and then just run as fast as possible through that area.
It's like the Old Republic, except the combat is not...
Except the combat is bad.
Yeah.
At least the Old Republic going into it, you were thinking more along the lines of a BioWare game, which I love BioWare, but they're not open world like Bethesda.
So Aaron and I have been playing. Well, we played a bit of it.
Is it worth getting into? Because I might get into an MMORPG at some
I'd
point.
recommend it, which is odd for me because I typically hate MMOs.
If you want
try Guild Wars 2.
If you want to play with us, it's awesome in the sense that it really is a multiplayer BioWare game. So, like, you get into the conversations, which are totally BioWare, like Mass Effect, Dragon Age style.
That's what sets it apart.
But, like, if I'm in the conversation, Aaron is also there, and he can contribute.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it has like I guess it's a random number generator.
It is a random number generator.
But you both pick what you want to say, and then it just randomly chooses someone to reply.
Okay.
So, like, the conversation can go any number of ways, especially with a couple of people.
Although that's not true for main quest lines. So if Aaron's a bounty hunter and I'm an Imperial agent,
are you playing Sith?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So if he's doing a quest, I'm just standing in the background.
Okay.
Yeah.
We should all get into Guild Wars 2, because that apparently is once you buy the game, there's no subscription.
Yeah, Guild Wars 2 is really
there's no subscription in the Old Republic.
Oh, isn't there?
That
It's also free from the beginning. Isn't
Yeah.
it?
Yeah, it is,
you don't
right?
have to
Just
pay
like the Lord of the Rings MMO. I don't know if you played
There's like
that
a
one.
premium option, which I think lets you sprint or something.
Yeah.
I hate that. Don't lock a game mechanic behind a premium option.
Especially that sprint.
Especially sprint. Yeah,
I can understand like an obscure force power or something like that, but not sprint.
Yeah, in the Old Republic, it's free players, preferred players, and then subscribers. Preferred players are people that own the base game. They paid money for the base game, or they paid for a subscription at some point. So they're not paying one currently, but they have spent money on it. So at that point,
and they know how to run.
Yeah, they got a sprint ability.
How are you doing that?
If you just play it free, you haven't spent any money, then you're locked at a certain movement speed.
You're playing as some Trandoshan bounty hunter. Be like, wait up, guys!
Yeah.
Come on!
But the thing is, the base game is only like $10. So it's really not... and it comes with a month of game time anyway. So if you are looking to get into it, it's a game where you can put hundreds of hours into easily if you're into that type of game. And it's $10 if you want, I don't think the difference between preferred and subscribers is enough to warrant
A subscription?
Yeah, not necessarily. If you're looking for some of the stuff subscribers get, then sure, go for it.
You get like monthly deposits of credits, don't you?
You do. They have microtransactions in the game, but you can get it through, I think it's cartel coins.
Yeah.
But if you're a subscriber, you get a monthly allowance of...
Not Republic credits?
No, credits are the in-game
money.
currency. Cartel coins are their microtransaction.
That's good,
currencies.
because we don't like Republic credits. We'd like something more real out here.
Yeah.
We got to take a quick break now, and when we come back, we are going to talk about some other stuff.
What me?
And we are back on the Pixel Junkies podcast, episode 12. So one of the things I wanted to bring up, the Batman Arkham Knight PS4
The bundle?
we've now seen what the PS4 looks like, and I'm really underwhelmed.
Are you?
Especially after the Metal Gear Solid one and how good that one was.
I've kind of been underwhelmed with all of the special editions to come out. Metal Gear Solid 1
The only one I liked was the PS1 super exclusive $1 million version.
Yeah.
Oh, you didn't like the Metal Gear Solid one?
I haven't seen the Metal Gear Solid, hence why
We'll
I'm taking
bring
the
that
phone
one
out.
up, yeah.
It does look cool, but...
You're talking about collector's editions?
no, the
like the
PS4s.
PS4 bundles, like with the PS4.
Oh,
The
I never pay
colored,
attention to those.
colored ones.
The
it like-
Batman one is kind of boring to me. It's not Batman themed enough for me.
Is it like
Yeah.
is it like a chiseled butthole? Is that what the collector's edition of Metal Gear is?
We are on the radio.
What, you can't say butt?
Yeah, you
Same.
can. Yeah, that's
You can't-
fine.
I think
say
it's the
butt,
addition of...
And you can say whole, but you can't say them together.
Well,
Is
just
it-
edit it so there's a space.
Anyway.
I'm seeing one that has... I'm seeing a bunch. I'm seeing one that has the
space.
Foxhound
It's
logo
this
on
one.
it.
Oh, the Metal Gear Solid one, right? Okay. Yeah.
Talking about like
this is
snake
the Batman
tails,
one,
like,
which I don't
he's
really
shimmying
like.
about on-
Is it, which
around.
one of these is it? Is it the red one?
Yeah, it's the red one. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I really like that one.
That's cool.
The but the
Although
Batman
there's
one
another
is
one that
kinda
has the
like,
Diamond Dogs logo on it. I
Does
guess
the
that's a
Batman
fake.
one have a cape?
Yeah, it does actually.
Oh, okay, sweet.
The well, I mean, it has
Foxhound,
a
right?
picture of a cape. Yeah,
Oh,
it
no,
is.
that's no, it needs a real one.
The
Just staple one to it.
Yeah. So like with the fan on the back, the fan on
Removing this whole thing.
when the fan on the back like turns on, it's
yeah,
like
that would be good. I think.
you get the little cape action going there with the fan.
Yeah,
And then
totally.
it catches fire.
That wouldn't at all overheat and burn.
I saw a opening of the Borderlands Handsome Jack Collection, like super mega edition.
Yeah.
With that comes with the Claptrap robot. That looked pretty cool.
I mean, it doesn't look like a claptrap. Oh, you're talking about a different thing now. All right.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it also comes with really cool posters for all of the playable characters for Borderlands 2 and Borderlands the pre-sequel.
Are you looking to pick that up?
No, because it's $200, and
Are you looking to pick up the Handsome Jack collection?
at some point, yeah. I've already played Borderlands 2 and Borderlands the pre-sequel, so I probably will just wait for a bit to get it until there's a price drop or something.
What you should do is get a PC and get them on that.
Or no,
But they look better and play better on PC.
I don't care.
Well, then why would
Borderlands
you
is
pick up
one. I do the primary
Handsome
my
Dude collection?
my gaming on console. But Borderlands is one game that I have to do on PC.
Yeah, because it's just way better.
And I play co-op, and the people I play co-op with are PC guys.
Yeah, they're good guys because they play on PC, which is way better. But yeah,
We
What
had the
else?
Handsome Jack collection 3 years ago.
yeah, we've had that for a long time, way before it was even announced. So PS4 is getting God of War 3 remastered.
Another remaster. Do you remember last
Are
year?
there any new
when we
games
were-
coming out for the current gen consoles? Or are we just getting...
Nope.
You remember last year when we were saying 2015 is going to be so great because all these games that are delayed are coming out in 2015. Now it's 2015, and we're like, oh man, 2016 is going to be so great. We're going to get the new Uncharted, and we're going to get the new. Now we're going to get the Xbox people are going to get Quantum Break.
We're getting a remastered Final Fantasy VII, except we're not, because it's just a port of the current Steam version. That's not even a remastered. It's just the PS1 graphics brought over to PC.
The game, Final Fantasy VII was released on PC way back when.
Yeah, but it's not a remastered version. It's just the standard
higher
graphics.
resolution.
Yeah, but it's not remastered. We want a remastered version.
It's not the PS1 version brought over.
Well, is it called remastered or is it like HD?
It's just called. I think they're just calling it PS4 Final Fantasy VII, and everybody's mad because they're like, "Why aren't you releasing this as a remaster?" And they're like, "Because we're Square Enix and we don't like our fans."
Why don't they just be like, "Well, we won't release it at all." LOL, canceled.
Can we mention? Can we mention briefly the DMC thing?
Devil May Cry.
Yeah, so because they released their definitive edition of that, right? And Andrew, you probably know Andrew. They took a line of. I think they have released it now, right? It is out.
DMC definitive.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and
is it for current gen
But
consoles?
they're also. Is this what you're talking about? They're also going to bring Devil May Cry 4.
Oh no, that wasn't what I was talking about. But that's awesome.
I'll be getting.
They took a line of dialogue out of the definitive edition.
Oh yes.
And people lost their minds about it and cried censorship.
What line of dialogue?
I don't remember the exact quote. Do you have it there?
Nope.
I
can look it up.
Okay.
But yeah, so everyone talked about it's censorship and yada yada yada.
Has the Jurassic Park
and
wording on it, lettering.
Your phone is off.
Nope.
It looks like Jurassic Park.
In the sense that it has a line in the middle of it.
Yeah, it's Jurassic Park.
Jim Sterling said it probably better
Jeff
than I
Goldblum
could.
confirmed Card Paramore.
He was talking about that there's a big difference between censorship and just making an artistic decision because a line of dialogue is bad. And that's really important. Like, people are too quick to call censorship now on games changing things.
I have it here.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Can I say it?
You could say it. I'll edit it out of the radio version. I know when we are now.
Well, the world is at last your blank, as am I. Nothing left but to grab it by the hair, bend it over, and F ...
Yeah. And it literally does trail off in the game.
So they changed it to the world is at last your blank, which rhymes with which.
Yes, yeah. And which is
to avoid Rory having to edit this out.
Yeah.
This is
it was a bad line of dialogue to begin with.
But that was a great game though. I never
DMC too. I like DMC way more than Devil May Cry.
Yeah,
Devil May Cry.
I did not like Devil May Cry at all, but I love DMC, and everybody was like, "Ooh, he's got black hair now." I'm like, "That's okay," because this original character design was terrible.
I really like the original Dante, actually, but anyways,
this has the best opening sequence to any game, where his trailer is exploding, and he has to quickly dress himself as he's flying through the air, and the objects are covering up his nether regions. That was one of the best done scenes I've ever seen.
I thought the game was really good. I thought the boss battles were incredible. I thought the mechanics were good. I thought the level of difficulty was really good.
The characters were all cool too.
I should say Devil May Cry. I didn't like it, but it played very well.
Yeah.
I didn't like the storyline of those games. I thought everybody took it as this work of art, and it really was not.
I think that, and also I actually don't think it's as different from the previous games as people might believe it is. I mean, especially the way Virgil was done, and a lot of the scenes with Virgil, are kind of that reminiscent of that old artistic style. But also, I think that this is, I don't think that every Devil May Cry game should be like this, but I think this was kind of a nice break from the old thing.
Absolutely.
Then maybe they'll find a way to integrate the two somewhere down the road.
Does he end up crying eventually? They made 18 games out of this, didn't they?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the only reason it's called Devil May Cry is just so they can have some sort of artsy name. They'll be like, oh, this will get all the people who like Final Fantasy VII. And
Devil May Cry is a saying, right?
Evangelion.
Yeah, but Devil Does Cry is the last one. Or Devil Far Cry.
What?
Or is it DMX? Is it any relation to the rapper? I don't know anything about this game.
DMX is in DMC.
All right, sweet.
Yeah.
What was that movie he was in with...
Cradle to the Grave.
Yeah.
The no-gun policy is no longer in effect. Break out the heat. I love that movie. That's the greatest line in cinema.
Yeah. Yeah. Why is it Devil May Cry : Devil May Cry?
It's DMC : Devil May Cry.
So what does DMC mean?
DMC is Devil May Cry.
So it's DMC.
Yes.
That joke's already been made. Don't even make it.
But DMC Devil May Cry.
I don't know anything else to say.
DMC Devil May Cry was made by Ninja Theory. It's not a Japanese-made game.
But they did a really good job.
But Devil May Cry, the old PS2 games, those are Japanese made.
So
I like
PlayStation
Lily.
shut
Right.
down.
She was a cool character.
Yeah, I hope the fans. I hope they do some integrating of the two approaches, so that hopefully the fans, because I want the fans to have something they,
Yeah.
they like.
I get yeah.
Because I complained that the thing is like I was saying a couple weeks ago we were talking about Battlefield, and I was like, if you want to make a game like Battlefield Hardline, that's fine, but don't take Battlefield to do it. Don't. And the same goes for Battlefield 3
That
and 4.
game's been getting some lackluster reviews, eh?
Well, everybody's saying the same thing. A, why is this Battlefield?
Yeah.
And B,
Yeah.
this isn't really that great
Yeah.
a game anyway.
I think they should have been saying that earlier, but I'm glad someone's saying it now, at the very least.
If EA messes up, because it won't be DICE, it'll be EA that messes up Battlefront, I'm going to go on a tirade. It's going to be
How
like...
angry are you going to be when they announce the force points? Like microtransactions.
How angry I'm going to be? I'm going to get angry enough to get on that plane, need to fly down to Bethesda, so when they don't announce Fallout 4, I'll be right there with you.
ticket, because it's going to happen.
Yeah.
All signs point to yes on this happening.
Do you think they'll be Bethesda be like, and so we won't be releasing Far Cry 4, and all of a sudden some fan will come in, will take out a gun like, it's like, oh, only 88% VATs on the head. Oh, I'll take the shot anyway.
It actually baffles me how standards that we hold game companies to have gone down over the years. It's such a weird thing when so much else in the game industry is evolving.
It went
this is
up
devolving.
incredibly high in the 2000 era.
Yeah,
of.
exactly. Because you couldn't release patches.
Yeah, and now it's gone back down again because before then, during the 80s, you could release anything.
Yeah, exactly.
Nintendo actually did a lot. People think Nintendo's a joke now, and they kind of are when it comes to a lot of stuff. But back in the day, Nintendo saved gaming in the States, or did a large part to save it, because they brought in standards. That's why the stickers came on all of the hardware and all of the software for every Nintendo product. Nintendo seal of approval.
Yeah.
That meant something. That meant that somebody at Nintendo tested it, and at the very least, this game worked. And it was probably a decent game, whereas before, if you bought a game for console, the game might not even play. That's how bad things were getting with consoles in America, because there were so many of them. So there's no, standards have gone down a lot, I think. That's why games like The Witcher 3, for example, is going to be, or Metal Gear Solid 5. We need more games like that look really good and hopefully are really good.
That's why those games are special, I think, a lot, oftentimes, actually.
So you know how Konami's been taking Kojima's names off all of his games?
Yeah.
They're putting it back on Metal Gear games.
That's a good choice,
It's currently off of Zone of the Enders, which he made, and it's off of the new Silent Hill game that's coming out. So
I could see putting it back. I mean, as far as compromises go, that isn't bad, actually.
There was a huge backlash from fans of them doing that. I don't know why they did it.
Well, it's.
I guess they're trying to separate him from the brand.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because if they ever,
when he leaves or
yeah.
dies, because human,
Yeah.
unless he's some sort of Terminator, but that would be awesome.
I'm convinced Kojima is not actually human.
He hasn't aged since he started making Metal Gear Solid.
He's
Greg Miller pointed that out, I think, and he's right.
He's some sort of Japanese spirit, just like. There's I watched a gameplay footage from Final Fantasy 15. The demo came out for that game.
Right. Yeah.
The closed demo, apparently, because I haven't found it. Is it closed? I don't know.
I'm pretty sure it's closed.
Yeah. And they were battling a behemoth, which is a well-known. It's an enemy that appears in all the Final Fantasy games.
I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
I played
And it's a big monster.
Yeah,
anyway, they're fighting this monster, and he's like, better summon an Esper, whatever they're calling him this time, one of the summons, to help us in battle. I'm like, oh, is it going to be just some guy shows up and blasts him with lightning? No, like a huge giant, steps over a mountain, and then, looks at the dog, and then, summons a blast of thunder to destroy this monster, and then he walks away. It's at least, 10 stories tall. It was amazing. I'm like, oh my god, this is the coolest thing ever. It was like Atlas put down the sky and came over and started to wail on this thing. It was awesome. And I'm so excited for that game.
It says 49 damage combo X2. And you're like, that's ruined.
4 damage. If you've got the power to summon that thing, why does it come and do one hit and then leaves?
Because that's the... Bye.
Okay, I'll disappear again.
Wait.
I don't think we should be searching for realism in the Final Fantasy games.
That's true.
I couldn't beat the first one.
It's stuff like that really takes me out of that franchise.
Right, yeah.
Final Fantasy,
That and the dialogue.
Final Fantasy 12 and 13, as much as I hate those games...
and when he says 13, he does mean those games.
Yeah. They did you summoned your summon, and it stuck around for a bit. And it had, like, you could only maintain it for so long because it drained your magic. But you could do multiple attacks and stuff with it. Same in Final Fantasy X, actually. You summon one of those things, and it stuck around for a bit.
I just find that in a lot of Japanese games, there's too much crap on the screen.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Like, why can't you have nothing on the screen?
In 13, I think the HUD takes up at least 50%.
Yeah, well, 13 is terrible for a large number of reasons. The main one being the story, which is really one of the best parts of any Final Fantasy game, is the story.
Although I don't,
which is unfortunate.
Although I don't entirely agree with every point he makes in the video, I think Jim Sterling does a great video on the Final Fantasy art style.
Was that the one that you sent us?
Yeah, that was the one I sent you guys, yeah.
Around 10, Final Fantasy realized, or the Square realized, that we can't really design characters anymore, and they just stopped, because their characters since 10 have been really bad, except for a few places. Like, Auron was cool.
Why don't they hire somebody else to do that?
Why don't they hire new people? Because the people who made Final Fantasy 13 freely admitted, yeah, we don't really know what goes into making a Final Fantasy game. And we're like, but then why are you making it? There must be somebody at Square who knows how to make a Final Fantasy game. That's what you're known for. That's your flagship franchise.
It's just
Get somebody else to make it.
It's the high definition, I think, is what caught him out. Because in, like, 10, what did that come out on for? Like,
PS2, that was 2001, I think.
Yeah, so, like, the graphics weren't refined enough to actually see the character model.
At the time, that was one of the best looking games.
That was probably the best looking game to come out.
What
for
I'm
the
saying
PS2
is, now that they're like
going
time into 4K territory, they don't know how to make the character model look not plain. You know, so they're like, oh, let's add belts and pockets and everything.
Yeah, they never used to be like that. Like
Final Fantasy,
couldn't see the belts and pockets.
Well, Final Fantasy VIII, the character designs were terrible just because. Well, one of them was. A couple of them were. A lot of them were. Final Fantasy IX had really cool designs, but the overall design of the characters, a lot of people had a problem with. I didn't, but it was very kind of like manga-y. They didn't look realistic. It was more cartoony. Mm-hmm. I was trying to get back in the spirit of what they looked like in the 18 and 16-bit eras. But like Final Fantasy VII and before, all the character designs are pretty cool.
Yeah, but I think it's part of it might be like you were saying, like they just didn't have the tools to make the specificity.
Yeah,
and
like
now that they do, they've gone absolutely nuts.
Couldn't see it. Like maybe there are details there that they tried to add onto like the
but just wouldn't work. Yeah,
but you just couldn't see it.
And but there is a lot about the Final Fantasy art style I do like. I see what he means with character models. I think that style can go awry in character models, but I think it works really well with bosses and monsters.
Yeah,
actually, I think their added details actually looks quite nice in that regard. It's just you need to like all these things, just like when you have a really stylized movie, you need something to ground it, whether it's like a simple plot or something like that. But of course, Final Fantasy, it's not, the problem is probably that the visuals go along with a plot that's almost unbelievably complicated.
It has turn-based combat too, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It has every kind of combat at some point. They keep
Final
changing
Fantasy
stuff.
Games, yeah.
First person?
No, they don't have that. Yeah.
Would you though? No.
Well,
no. I don't think
not first person turn based. That'd be stupid.
Yeah, I think my problem is a lot more with the ideas behind a lot of the characters.
Right, I can see that. Yeah.
Like I don't have a problem necessarily with how they look. I think Lightning is a cool looking character. Mm-hmm. But like the idea behind having that guy punch. He's just going to be punching, that's his attack. Or the guy in 10 whose attack is kicking a soccer ball around.
Yep.
That's really stupid.
Are you talking about Snow?
I have no idea.
Are you talking about the guy who punches things in Final Fantasy 13?
Yes.
Do you know why he can punch stuff like that?
Why?
This is going to make you tear out your hair. So, Final Fantasy's had characters who use their fists mainly in games before, like Sabin from Final Fantasy VI.
Sabin?
Sabin. Oh. But the reason he could do it is he was like a mystic monk, so he had like he would equip like monk like bow staffs and stuff, and he would power up, and he could like do fireballs.
Were there guns in that game?
Final Fantasy VI?
Yeah.
No.
Okay. I can see that working then.
But in Final Fantasy 13...
Where there are guns.
Yeah. Snow, who's the punching guy, he has, and I'm not kidding, a superpowered trench coat that he puts patches onto that changes its abilities, and it gives him super strength. I'm not even kidding.
We'll just see the origin movie for that, like super
really
coat
dumb.
the movie.
Unbelievably dumb.
His coat fell into like a toxic waste.
So there's
In my opinion.
So the guy who did all the concept art for Final Fantasy, at least up till 10, I think, he did a lot of the logos. I think he stopped at Final Fantasy 9.
Did you do Advent Children?
No. Well, he did the concept art for 7, so indirectly, I guess. His name is Yokoshima Amano, and his artwork is really very stylized. It's very cool. Here, check it out.
Have you've seen Advent Children? Yeah.
Yep.
What do you think of it?
I was alright. I mean, 7. I like 7's story, but I didn't really feel like you need to go back and
Is his
explore
weapon
more.
a mirror?
No, it's.
It looks like he's holding a mirror.
It's like a background thing going
Yeah.
on.
Is this all the same concept art?
Yeah,
It's all
just,
done by the same guy.
yeah. So he did all the concept
Some
art for all
turn-based
the
combat right there.
yeah
They're
for all the
dancing.
weapons and all the enemies and all the characters and like lands and stuff for all the for the games, and you know. It was him along with the guy who did the music who really kind of made Final Fantasy, because they were worked on most of the Final Fantasies up until 10. And when they left, they stopped having that same kind of feel to
How
them.
come they never made the game look like his art? Because the sword is realistic.
Why? Because it came out in 1988 and they didn't have the technology.
They absolutely did. All they had to do was scale the sword
Why don't
down
they
by
remake
700%.
What did they remake?
Why don't they remake the old ones?
Look, sword is
They
almost
have.
realistically sized.
Final Fantasy 4 came out for the DS, and it was instead.
No, I mean like a 13 style release.
What do you mean?
Like a full blown AAA 3D. Like, holy crap, this is amazing.
Well, what they could do is they could do something for the PlayStation. They could do something for the PlayStation 4 where they do like a major release of, because back then they were large games. They're not large games now by any means. Like, you could probably plow through Final Fantasy 6 in a day. They're not nearly as long as say Skyrim is or anything like that. So you could take like Final Fantasy 1, 2, 3, and 4 and make that into put that on a disc and do like
Are they
5,
all in the
6.
same continuity?
No, they're all separate
Nice.
continuities.
There goes your phone.
I got it.
Oh, I was really hoping to hear like a
Oh no.
Roy crush his phone.
They're all different continuities. The only ones that have our continuity together are like Final Fantasy 10 and then 10-2, or 13 and 13-2 and 13. Why are we still making games based off this crappy
I
franchise?
tried to play them in order, and I got about 5 minutes into the first game and got destroyed. So I was like, that's alright, there's none of that. Like, there's a fight like 2 minutes into the game.
Well, there's no...
It's impossible.
The combat system in 13 is terrible because all you're doing is pressing X, 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 X. You don't even choose your attacks because all you're going to do is you're going to hit... I think there's a command for like optimize or auto battle.
Well,
which,
the challenge in 13 comes from changing your...
yeah, but that's like one button press as opposed to the other ones where you had to very quickly select...
Well, it's like a rock, paper, scissors style thing where you've got to change your character's job or whatever.
Yeah, they're
So
called
that
paradigm shifts.
Yeah, paradigm shift.
Paradigm.
Yeah. It changes you to counter whatever the enemy is.
No, you set up your own... At least eventually you get to set up your own paradigms. So you just change them on the fly to what you want your characters to be. So you can have
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So you've got to change your party around. So
but that's one thing. Like, that's not as involved as the other games were. So 10, like, I don't like 10, but 10 had a really good combat system where you got to switch your characters in and out to deal with different enemy placements, because some enemies can fly, and so the melee fighters can't hit them. Some enemies are at a great
so you got to
distance.
kick soccer balls at them.
Don't start. Don't even start.
In this turn-based combat environment,
You like
is
to
it
let air
literally
out
like...
so it leaves a welt.
Is it just two guys, like, or a couple of guys standing across from each other, and they're like... It's like, yeah, it's my turn, and then you press a button? Is that what it is?
In what?
In whatever Final Fantasy game you're talking about.
That's what
Yeah.
it is.
Why don't they have, like, cutscene combat? Like, almost quick-time events, except you pick what happens. You know, like... So there's a fight that happens, and then they have
And it
their
comes up
turn.
so you attack, and you quickly have to pick an attack? Is that...
Yeah, it's like, all right, now it's my turn to attack. Like, you got to drop down, you got to, like, pick which one you want to do before you run out of time, and then you do that. Like, why can't they do that sort of turn-based? Because I think that'd be more exciting.
Well, they can do it now.
Cutscene.
They can do it now. I mean, Final Fantasy 15 is more like Kingdom Hearts, where you're free roaming around and it's active combat. So you're attacking with your sword, and then while you're moving around, you can pick which magic you do, but there's no turns. But the earlier games, they just didn't have the technology to do that.
Are
like
there
Final
hat
Fantasy
zippers in Final Fantasy 15?
What?
Hat zippers?
Oh, you
Zippers
do
on
that
your
like-
hat?
No, apparently all the character designs look like they're all wearing like suits and stuff.
Oh.
Like suits and ties or
Suits with zippers?
I don't know, man. Probably not. I think they fired their old character designer because all the
Not
characters
just-
look
not
decent.
just zippers,
Apparently, not
but
the guy who.
gratuitous zippers. Like,
Oh yeah, they're not pockets. They're just zippers.
Yeah, my favorite was Lulu from Final Fantasy X, who had a dress that was like a crop dress.
Hey, at least
and there were zippers.
at least she had a
No,
purpose.
it went dress material down to here, and then belts, just belts. The bottom half of her dress was made out of
I thought you were
belts.
talking about the gratuitous cleavage of
Oh,
No, well that was I'm not
Whatever
complaining.
her name is.
Lulu.
We got about
Are there
2 minutes.
cleavage zippers,
yeah.
She also carried a Moogle.
or have
Yeah.
a zipper behind a zipper.
Kupo.
Yeah, I don't like a lot of those things.
No.
A lot of those.
No, the problem that a lot of
What
people
any
have
of
with
those
Final
things
Fantasy is
are.
either because you don't like turn-based combat, which is fine. It's not for
I
everybody.
don't mind turn-based combat. I much prefer the Western
Like
way of
turn-based
doing
combat.
turn-based combat.
I prefer. Well, I don't prefer any of them. I just don't mind the Japanese version because I grew up playing those games. But anyway, we're cluing up now. So
So yeah, are we done?
We got about 1.5 minutes.
Okay,
yeah,
I think
thanks.
Fallout handles turn-based combat infinitely better than any JRPG.
Do you mean with the
VATS.
yeah, right, yeah.
No, not.
Or is
I'm
it-
talking about.
Or do you mean the like retro?
1 and 2.
1 and 2?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And a bunch of other games did this too.
Yeah, because VATS in 3 and New Vegas isn't really turn-based. It's just like, pause the game while
Yeah.
I make sure I destroy your head.
Yeah, but you would
Although
issue,
that was a really good system. I
you would
actually
issue
liked it.
commands. It's a lot like an RTS in that regard, except it is turn based. You would move your character however many points, action points you had. When your action points were used up, you'd end your turn.
Yeah. Well, it's
That's what all the characters look
do you
like in the new one.
do you like XCOM?
It's like XCOM.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. XCOM is XCOM's so good.
Yeah, the Baldur's Gate games did it differently, where it is real time, but you can pause it at any time.
Yeah.
They
You
look
issue
like
commands
regular
that way.
people apart from the front guy.
Yeah.
So
You're
yeah,
like a
we're
short sleeve trench coat.
we're closing up the show now. When we come back, I want to talk about an interesting mechanic, or more specifically, lack thereof, in Heroes of the Storm. So stay tuned for that.
Bye.
And we are back on the Pixel Junkies after show.
Hey.
Yeah, so, all right, so before the break, I said I would talk about Heroes of the Storm, so I'm going to do that. All right, so Heroes of the Storm, for those of you who don't know, is a MOBA made by, what's their face, Blizzard. Mm-hmm.
Fuck.
There's a lot of MOBAs, and I actually really like it because most of the MOBAs I've played, all the ones I've played, are not
Wait,
broken.
is Heroes of the Storm out?
I don't know if it's officially out yet, but we have some information about the mechanics of it,
Okay.
which is what the really essential information is here, which is that there's no surrender mechanic, which there is in League of Legends.
Explain surrender.
Just quit.
Yeah, basically after
tab,
20 minutes,
quit.
Alt F4.
Yeah.
after 20 minutes in the game, you can put up a surrender vote for your team, and you need 70% for a surrender vote to pass.
Is that to just like hurry it along and move to the next game?
That's like, yeah, just like surrender. We're definitely not going to win this game, sort of.
That's no fun.
Maybe they relabeled it as like puss out or something.
Because sometimes League of Legends games can run, in excess of 40 minutes.
So
people
does
are
the
just like,
opposite team get extra XP or whatever? if people
I
quit?
think, I'm not sure how it works, but you definitely get a penalty, I
But
think.
then you get like all the team of pro players that are like, oh, this noob clicked at the wrong millisecond, surrender, and then they all surrender.
Yeah, no.
And this guy that has time to play like 1 or 2 matches a night is like, oh man, I can't wait to play this.
Yeah.
And then suddenly he's kicked out and he's got to wait again.
Yeah, no, I this is what I was wondering. I was wondering what your guys' take on having a surrender mechanic or not having it. Because I think not having it was a really good idea.
I don't mind
don't
it
have
being there. I just don't like people.
Right, yeah,
I'm
fair
just
enough.
pictured in like a Call of Duty game where it would just be like, as soon as the game starts, you're like, oh, I'm dead, quit, surrender. All right, new game. Oh, I died again, surrender.
Yeah, I know exactly what
It's
you
like
mean.
in Halo. Same in Halo. Like, oh, this noob doesn't know what he's doing. Let's all, you're in it. You're in a game, and your whole team is in a party together.
Yeah.
Like, this friggin' idiot doesn't know what he's doing, and then all your entire team quits out, and you're left against 8 people.
I remember that happened once. I was playing, 2 parties were playing against each other. One was a 6-person party, and one was a 5-person party, and me. And the 5-person party left, so it was me versus the 6 people, and it ended up being like 25 to 18. I ended up doing really well against the other
man,
team.
I love when you're by yourself on a team, though. Remember, what was it, we were playing Medal of Honor or something online? It was Andrew, Kyle, and Chris, or so. It was like some weird combination of people that we've never played games with before, all friends from high school. It was like all you guys on one team, and I ended up on my own team somehow. And it just became me silently picking them off one by one, and they couldn't find where I was. Like, where the fuck is he? Is he there?
Which Medal of Honor was it? The Medal of Honor?
I think it was the newer one, not like.
It was just Medal of Honor, the
2010?
the modern day.
Yeah,
I actually really liked that game. That game had a really good campaign.
It did have a pretty good campaign.
It
Did you
was
play
prob-
Warfighter?
No, I heard Warfighter was horse turds.
Not great.
But
know anything about it.
which is disappointing because 2010 had probably the most realistic, like, modern war campaign since 4. Actually, it was a lot more realistic than 4. Of the part where you're holed up in, like,
the
your
way it was portrayed.
yeah,
When you hold up in that Afghan
little
building,
like stone building, and you're getting picked off, and all of a sudden the Apache roars in.
and you're eating away your ammo.
Yeah, and not only that, but there's nowhere to go, so you're like crunched down, prone.
Yeah.
You're trying to shoot at the
I
guys, and all
remember
of a sudden,
Aaron raving about that at the
Yeah,
time.
I love that. And there was another part where I think it might have been before that, where you have to like get rid of some building or whatever, and you're like, it's another sort of like you hold up, got to pick off these guys, and then a A-10 comes overhead and blows up the building that you're next to.
Yeah.
And it's just like you're just in dust for like 10 minutes. It's awesome.
And then that other point when you're holed up in a building and you're slowly losing ammo and you got to defend it, and then a Black Hawk comes overhead and blows up
Apache.
a thing. And then that other time when you're holed up and you're pinned down and you're trying.
Stop making fun of me.
I actually love the.
I'm making fun of the game because it's happened twice.
Well, yeah, but
Well,
it's,
no.
You remember the episode where
It's
they
just-
find the
it's just
wormhole
a
and go
recurring
home?
mechanic.
I love the bit where they're
rewarding.
you're getting you're getting helped out by the A-10. Then you got to take out as you move along. You got to take out the anti-aircraft guns. The A-10 can come in and support you. That was
Yeah,
pretty
that's
cool.
what I'm talking about. Yeah. That was fun.
Or not the A-10, sorry, the AC-130.
Oh,
I'm just making fun of the fact that in a lot of these games, EA, I guess, will see something that resonates with fans, and then, okay, this is a mandatory thing we have to copy and paste into every subsequent release.
I hate getting in helicopters in Modern Warfare games. As soon as you get in a helicopter, you're like, well, this is crashing. I hate, like, I'm the only, like, remember, that was one of the few things I liked about Battlefield 4 campaign, because there's one point where you're getting airlifted into the sky into a helicopter, and the helicopter gets hit with a rocket. I'm like, well, and it keeps going.
Yeah.
Or no, wait, there's Modern Warfare 3. You another helicopter crashes into you. I'm like, well, and then all of a sudden it's like, no, we're able to stabilize. I'm like, really?
It's definitely in the campaigns, but in multiplayer, their controls were always horrible. Even in like Battlefield 2, it's like, how the hell do I fly this?
I remember the first thing I ever
Like,
did in
left
any
is
Battlefield game was in Battlefield Vietnam. I got into
I bet this is what I did too.
I got into a Cobra, and I sat in, and all of a sudden I was...
Oh, see what I did, I was in, well, this wasn't the first thing I did in the Battlefield game, but this is one of the first things I did when I started playing Battlefield Vietnam, and I was in a hangar, and, the helicopter, hop in the helicopter, just slam on W, and just... I was like, okay, so W is up, not forward.
That's how all of those games always work, though. You end up...
You gotta hook up a joystick, man.
You wait by where the vehicle spawns for like 12 hours. You just play 100 games to wait to get the vehicle. You finally get in, immediately destroyed. You're like, alright, well, that was fun.
Once you get the hang of flying in Battlefield Vietnam and in Battlefield 2, it's a lot of fun.
Not only that, you got 6 guys waiting at that spot
Yeah.
for the thing to
Yeah,
appear.
there's always the asshole who kills you. Like,
And there's like, and then the rest of you,
1942.
there's like 3 guys out trying to capture the spawn points. The rest of your team's clustered around the helicopter spawn.
A few players playing the objective and everyone else waiting
I
to fly.
saw footage from, I can't remember which battlefield it was, but the helicopter came into the landing. It was like a Black Hawk. dropped off guys to get the spawn, and then tried to take off again, but his tail rotor had got caught underneath the building, so it went wah, 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 and it took out the guys had popped onto the enemy under the roof, and they were getting off, and all of a sudden the blades of the helicopter lawnmowered them.
Yeah.
So prejudice against Battlefield Hardline aside.
Hang on. Can we go back to Mill of Honor 2010 for a quick minute?
Yeah.
I rented that game because at the
not?
time I was really poor.
It's like 3 hours long.
Yeah. I want to own that game just because I thought it was really fun. I can't find a physical copy of that anywhere. I think I'm gonna have to.
I think it's only like $6 on Origin.
Yeah. So
and I think
just
you
get
may
it,
be able to order the physical copy off that too.
yeah, you're probably just gonna. I might just get it because I know you can get it on like the Xbox Live store. So I'm probably gonna have to buy it like that.
Is there,
Yeah,
there
just
should
get a
be-
digital copy. Yeah.
Is there like an Origin outlet on console?
Well,
Like-
it's Xbox Live Arcade. You can buy titles. on
Yeah, no,
there.
but what I'm saying is, like, it'd be cool if you could buy a game on Origin and also, like, download it on PC, but also, like, have it on your Xbox gamer.
Yeah.
I think
So you could
it'd
play
be
it on there
cool
as
if
well.
Microsoft teamed up with Steam and then instead of Xbox Live, have Steam.
EA has like an exclusive like turbo
Yeah, the
deal
EA
thing on Xbox.
EA
doesn't it?
Prime or something like that.
Why
or
don't
Elite
they
or-
call that Origin?
They should. Like, I think if they had, buy Mass Effect for PC or buy Mass Effect for PC and Xbox for like an extra $3 or $4. I mean, why wouldn't you? Because then you got two
They
copies
would never
of the
do
game.
that though, because that's $30 they
Well,
won't get.
yeah, but people aren't going to buy 2 copies of the game.
I did.
Well, yeah, but I don't think a lot of people are going to buy 2 copies of the game. I think
No.
they'd be like, oh, $3 extra for Xbox as well. Why not?
I also can't find Batman Arkham Origins, so I'm gonna have to get that digitally as well.
I think that's only $10 on Steam.
Yeah, like I can't imagine it's gonna be very expensive online or anything. But I'm just I'm surprised I can't find a physical copy of it
There
anywhere.
has to be some on Amazon. Or
I want
eBay
you
or
to play
something.
that on PC. Even if it's at Aaron's house and you just try it out, I want you to try it on PC. And then I want you to tell me that it is better on PC.
Okay.
Because it is better on PC.
A lot of games are better on PC, but I prefer them on
Will
console.
that
Yeah.
enable you to masturbate again? If
Yes,
I do that?
it
Okay.
would.
All
It
right.
would make me so happy.
All right.
I
I'll do it
would
for
not
you.
be able
Picture
to
Adam
resist.
going home and be like,
Yeah, you go home at night and you sit down and play Batman and you're just like... Yeah, exactly. You would turn it off and be like, okay, well, I guess I'm saving up for a PC now. Because I'm telling you, it's a lot better on PC. It's like you were saying about the whole atmosphere thing being better. Resolution and frame rate aside, the way all the physics are in that game, it's a lot better.
Well, it always is better on PC, but sometimes it's just console. I sometimes just prefer playing stuff on console. I gotta say,
know,
the
I know.
convenience is very high level.
Yeah, is it because you're sitting on a couch doing it? Like
I mean-
sitting on a couch with a big screen TV?
Yeah, like that's a part of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
if you
Oh.
could, like, stream the game from your PC to the TV, would you then play a PC game? Prefer a PC game, or would you still prefer Xbox or PS4 or whatever?
Well, you can do that.
what
Well,
I'm
yeah,
saying,
no, I
like,
can
what's-
do that. I have the PC right next to my TV.
Okay, so I'm just
Yeah.
wondering what the pull is. Like,
I don't know. I find the ergonomics of a mouse and keyboard just somehow less convenient. It's just something
use
about
a
having the
controller.
Yeah,
controller
but
in
with
my
Steam, you've got big picture mode. You can control Steam with a controller now.
Oh yeah, I know. I just like the console. I can't explain it. Probably there might be no reason.
Yeah.
There might be no reason other than routine. And I do game on PC when I have something in particular.
The only reason I ever turn on my PS4 or Xbox One is to play an exclusive title. It's not
Right? Yeah.
like if I can buy the game on a PC, I'm going to play it on a PC. Just because I know it's going to be, it's going to be more reliable in a sense. It's not like if it doesn't work on a console, I gotta wait for a patch. If it doesn't work on a PC, someone's already made a patch for it. Somebody's figured out, oh, you gotta edit this registry key. 5 seconds later, oh, it's done. It works perfect on an Xbox. Yeah, we'll fix that next week.
yeah,
We'll
whenever
fix
it
that
gets
in a
approved.
day or two.
So I've been playing Rayman Legends lately.
Oh yeah, that's
Not to get away from your
free.
conversation, but I really don't give a fuck. So
The
it's
Hurry
the
up and
sequel
get
to
GTA,
Orange.
Adam.
Listen, I'll get it as soon as my exams are done. I have
When
the
are your
money.
exams done?
The 14th.
Oh yeah, you already said that.
And then I'll get it, and I also gotta get headphones. So, but I'll get those as well.
I gave you headphones.
Headphones
Yeah, I don't
or
want-
a headset?
A headset. I mean,
Well,
I want a
that.
headset that is universal, so I can use it for Xbox, PlayStation 4.
Yeah,
The
It's
one
got
I
a
gave
USB.
you, you can do that.
It's just USB.
Yeah, I'll use that one in the meantime, but I want a good set.
Oh yeah,
Well, I'll
shit
have-
all over my headset that I gave you.
It was like
Did I pay good money for
it
it?
was like a $15 headset, and you told me that when you gave it to me.
Get a Triton.
You can hear it putting out like
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna get out of that, or
Yeah.
Turtle Rock, or whatever it is.
It was
Turtle
my
Beach.
old,
I get
my
Triton.
old headset that I used.
You didn't
I mean,
Minecraft,
it depending on
Yeah.
how much money do you want to spend?
No more than like 50 or 50 or 50,
Oh man,
70.
you can get a pretty
Oh.
good headset for that.
I'd say spend 80.
Okay.
So Rayman Legends, I think it's free for gold members on Xbox right now.
Yeah, you should totally get it.
I
I
did.
bought it. I bought the disc
How's
because
my
I loved
headset have? So-
Origins so much.
Headset?
yeah, I used it
Pretty
for him.
okay.
That was like a $40 headset.
well.
So,
It was a $40 headset.
Yeah.
You
That's
should have spent $50 and gotten a much better headset.
$50.
But
I got a fucking.
If
like
you
at
spend
home.
$40 for that, you could have spent $50 for.
I'm going back
The
and
only one
I'm,
they had, R.I.P. Future Shop. Actually, no. Well, rest in fucking shithole. What a shitty building. Anyway, continue.
He didn't like Future Shop.
nobody
Not
likes
a
Future Shop. I've been trying to complete because in Rayman Origins, you had to get all of you had to complete all of the
So what one did
coins.
you play for the challenge?
It was Origins I played. And Legends is the sequel, and I'm going back and playing Legends. I'm trying to get all the teetsies, which are the coins, essentially. Like getting all the. Basically, I'm trying to complete the game. Most of the levels are they're challenging, but I can get all of them in. Some of them are really hard and very frustrating. It took me an hour to beat one yesterday just to because there's some of them are time challenges where you have to, if you want to get all 3 coins on that level, you have to beat it in 40 seconds. And there's a guy chasing you, and he'll mirror your moves, and if he catches up to you, you're dead, and you have to start the whole thing over again, and that's really frustrating. It took me an hour to beat it, and it's only 40 seconds long. Like, nothing will make you feel dumber than being unable to beat a 40-second long level.
Yeah. Aaron and I have been playing the Halo games again, trying to play through them all on Legendary.
Yeah.
We finished Halo 1 on Legendary. That was a couple tough spots. Halo 2 Legendary in co-op.
Yeah.
If either
They
one
didn't
of you,
fix that, did that?
No.
Oh, no. Yeah, is that because that's the one where if one of you dies, you both die, right?
If
Yeah,
one
you
of you
gotta
dies,
restart.
you revert to the last checkpoint.
Which was annoying.
In all the other ones, you can play co-op, and if one of you dies,
You just
you'll
scamper
respawn
off.
as
Yeah.
long as one of you is alive and not in combat. So that's what we've been doing through the other ones.
You have to, you know.
Wait, are you playing the remastered edition version?
Yeah.
Because I thought we played. Didn't we play that and I died and then I couldn't come back?
Yeah, I think that might have been tied to a skull, and I don't think it was on Legendary.
You,
Okay.
you couldn't have been playing on Legendary.
No, we weren't playing
no.
on that because that's the one where we had the scarab
No,
guns
yeah.
activated.
If you're playing not on Legendary, you can do the respawn.
Oh,
thing.
okay.
So we're playing on Heroic instead of Legendary.
Yeah, we're not good enough to
No.
power.
I'd say we could do it, but it would just take way too long.
The problem is you can be as good as you want and round a corner and have a grunt Hail Mary grenade at you and you're just dead.
Yeah.
And poof.
Yep.
But it is just a lot of fun.
The hardest level...
Cutscenes are gorgeous.
Most of those games are... The best thing about Halo is the level design. Halo had... one of the best things. Halo had really good level design for its controls and how it
really
played.
did.
But there were some moments in those games that have really hard... the way that the level was made on hard... Like, anything harder than normal was really hard.
That flood level in Halo 3, where you're on the ship trying to get Cortana.
Yeah, that was hard.
Yeah.
I played through Halo 4 recently. I just went back and played it on Heroic, just blow through it in like 6 hours. Weirdly enough, the third level is glitched for me, and I can't play it. It won't load for me, so I gotta go level 2 and then skip to level 4.
Weird.
Even though I've beaten, like it says I've beaten it and stuff, but I just can't do it. And there were some moments in that where I kept dying over and over and over because it was just the way, my favorite playstyle is to pick off grunts from a distance and get up close with elites and like beat them to death in shotgun. Mm-hmm. And there were some moments where I just couldn't do it on the difficulty because I had a bunch of skulls on and stuff. So they were chucking grenades and I was like, "Argh!" But yeah.
The
When you're playing on Legendary, you have to you basically have to use the plasma pistol battle rifle combo to kill the elites. Like, if you go in with anything else, they'll kill you for the most part.
Yeah. Every encounter stretches like a normal or heroic, which is just a 2-second encounter, and legendary. I think Halo Legendary is one of the hardest legendary, hardest level hards of any game, especially any shooter.
Yeah, I think Halo Legendary is way more difficult than Call of Duty Veteran.
Yeah, because there was only one moment in Veteran that I ever found challenging, and that was the end of
World at War.
No, although that was hard.
The end of World at War is nearly impossible.
Because I didn't bother with any of the other ones trying to beat it on Veteran, but Call of Duty 4. The bit in Chernobyl where you're trying to hold off the entire army in the playground, that is impossible on Veteran. Because you can hold them off. If you're really good, you can hold them off fairly easily.
The trick
but then
is
you gotta
to be very smart with your mind.
Yeah, and when you get smart with your minds and C4 and stuff, that's all fine.
It took me
but the hardest part is picking up Macmillan or whatever his name was and carrying him to the chopper.
I found the end of that game way harder than that part.
The war room at the end, where it's literally an open doorway and then just grenade after grenade after grenade coming out of it, and you can't advance. You're like,
World at War is twice as bad for grenades, though. Like, if you're on Veteran, it's like literally there's always one grenade icon on your screen at all times in that game.
you just call it grenade mode.
Basically, yeah. And if you move from cover at all, you're dead because you get shot.
A break into grenades. Nope.
Yeah.
All right.
Adam, I have a question for you. So I just started watching an anime on a friend's recommendation, and I'm wondering if you've seen it. Welcome to the NHK.
No, never even heard of it.
It's on Netflix, very high rated, actually.
Okay.
It's weird.
Scandals.
Yeah.
I was actually talking about it, me and Adam were at a party last night, and I was talking about it with someone at the party. And it's got a really, I described it as like a humble art style. It's really simple, even though it's really modern, which I like, but it's weird. I watch a couple episodes and tell me what you think about it.
Okay. There's one that came out, I can't remember the name of it. It's a new anime series, and the premise of it alone makes me want to watch it. It's not on anything I have, though. It's about, an alien is going to destroy the Earth. And he's a super powerful. There's a super powerful alien race, and they're about to destroy the Earth. But the leader of it feels he wants to give Earth a sporting chance. So he says, "I'm going to, in a year's time, I will destroy the Earth. But if one of your humans can assassinate me, then that's
I might have heard about this.
Then I will stop the Earth. Then I won't destroy the Earth.
I got an idea.
But the only people who can assassinate me is this middle school class because I'm going to become their new teacher. And it's just about this middle school class all trying to kill their teacher.
Yeah.
And I think that's really funny.
Yeah.
And apparently it's supposed to be a really funny show.
Okay, I'll have to check it out. Do we know the name of it?
I don't. I'm sure if you type it up, you'll find it.
Type up what?
That description.
Oh. All right. Guy going to destroy the Earth in a year, middle school teacher.
He's
The
an
guy
octopus.
Google will find it.
Or is he really an octopus?
Well, he's an octopus-looking dude.
A year
I heard you can search music on Google now.
octopus.
You can
looking.
put music into videos now on YouTube. There's a little music symbol there, and I think you can put in...
Assassination Classroom?
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Oh.
Assassination Classroom?
Yeah, it is Assassination
Well done, Google. It's the first result.
That's why Google is better than Bing. If you put that into Bing, Bing, they would come up like the Mayans thought the world was going to be destroyed in 2012.
Wait, we're going to test this. We're gonna type this into Bing and see what happens.
Anyway, I heard that you can play a song and Google will listen to it and tell you what song it is.
Oh, Shazam?
Yeah.
No, it doesn't get it.
I guess
it doesn't get it. It doesn't know which anime it is, but Google does.
Wow.
Bing is like, Microsoft, help me.
Futurama is the third. Dr. Octopus
You may
is the
enjoy
second result.
Anyway, we got a clue up now.
Okay.
Okay.
Adam laying down the law.
Well, it's either your way of cluing up shows is, we don't have any time left.
I don't know. We have 9 minutes left.
But
Do
this is
you want to
the
clue up
after
now?
show.
Oh, do we have 9 minutes left?
Yeah.
I thought we were
No,
done.
we're at an hour and 21 minutes at the moment.
My watch is off then.
Oh, okay.
By 9 minutes. May as well not even have one. Andrew had up here somewhere, I think you just scrolled past it, that Dirt 3 is on Steam now. I guess it has Steamworks.
Oh, Dirt 3 is really good.
Which is
Dirt 3 was on Steam before, I think.
yeah, and it doesn't work.
Right. It had Games for Windows Live on it.
So you literally can't launch the game.
Have you played a PC game with Games for Windows Live?
No.
It was Microsoft's half-assed attempt at bringing Xbox Live to PC a few years back.
Okay, yeah.
Halo 2 had
A
it
few.
when
Like 10 years
when
ago.
that released on PC. And when it first came out, you had it was a subscription-based thing. It was for all intents and purposes, yeah, Xbox Live on PC.
Oh yeah,
They dropped the subscription after a while, but a lot of the games still use it. Fallout 3 uses it as well.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It's easy to get past if you know.
I remember
But
that.
basically, you had to have a Microsoft account to play a lot of these games.
I don't like that. I
Yeah.
never like that.
I remember
but
having
a
to
lot of
sign
them-
into it 45 times to play GTA Online.
Dark Souls has it
Jesus.
on PC as well. Dark Souls 1. I think.
Okay, yeah. That was a pretty bad PC.
But I think Dark Souls 1 and now Dirt 3 and a bunch of others have dropped the games for Windows Live, and they're now using
Good.
Steamworks with, I think, achievements.
Okay, yeah.
Do you need to beat GTA 5 campaign in order to play online?
No.
Nope.
Okay, because not
You
that
can
I
play
am gonna.
online right away.
Because I am
need to
going to play the
first
campaign,
mission.
but
Oh,
I
yeah,
Campaign is
technically, yeah,
very-
you have to. Yeah.
Very well done.
no, but I'm just saying, like I know it's a long campaign. So.
Oh, yeah.
You have to play, the first, because I could go online right after playing.
Yeah, I
the
think
first
you got to
mission.
play like 10 minutes of the campaign.
No, it's fine.
Yeah, if you can play like the first bit that takes place like a number of years ago.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
then you can go right into it, but you can't save until you can play as Franklin, which is like a second mission into the game. So if you can jump right into online right away, but the next time you come back, you got to play through the first mission again because you can't. Yeah, it's kind of annoying. But
Yeah, so get to a point where you can save the game before you play multiplayer.
Yeah. Well, you don't have to play as Franklin for very long.
No, you can like you literally you start playing as him at his house, and then you can actually you got to drive a car.
No, you got to drive a car,
Yeah.
and then you get there, and
Yeah,
then you can.
get to
Yeah.
But then when you
I've
get
been-
to his house, you can save.
It's been really hard to resist the urge to play through that campaign again because I really want to,
Yep.
but I want to play it on PC when it comes out.
Yep.
Even though we have it on PS4 now to play multiplayer with you guys when you get it.
Just play like the online missions. They're actually pretty fun. Like
Yeah.
like they were terrible when it first came out, but they're actually fun now because it's almost like a story. It's kind of like single player.
We're gonna do the heist and stuff, right?
Oh yeah, for sure. Well, I'll have it, right?
Yeah.
Like you're getting it and you're getting it.
Yeah.
And Jordan has it and Dave's getting it now. So
Yeah.
all right.
I need to. I have you. I know I have you on PlayStation, on PS Network, whatever it is.
PlayStation Network.
Well, I don't care.
I'm pretty sure you've got it.
I'm pretty sure I have you too because it asked me.
I
it
definitely
said,
have you.
It
Too.
asked,
Or I definitely have you.
You two asked me for my name because you're botanic
Yeah.
and you're I think I have Jordan as well. I don't have Dave's.
You can say my horrible ID. I'm just not going to friend anyone.
I can't remember what your ID is.
I think we're like I've gotten spammed on Steam just from having my Steam profile on my profile.
I don't think it's because of that. I think there's just
Yeah,
a lot
it could
of
be, yeah.
assholes on Steam.
Yeah. I read not too long ago that today actually that George R. Martin is
Yeah, he
starting
released-
a new show with HBO.
Oh,
Really?
Yeah. I know
well,
where
he
you-
released a chapter of his new book.
Yeah. Apparently, this show is called Captain Cosmos and takes place in the late 40s.
That's awesome.
About
It's like a pulp, scrappy action hero.
I don't know what it's.
know.
I don't know if it's awesome yet. Tell me something
I
else
think
about it.
it's about like a science writer who
Oh,
wants to
Instantly deflated.
he like talks about things that nobody else will talk about or whatever. I don't really know what the plot of the show is going to be, but
I don't care.
I'll watch
That's
it.
such a good name for a good show, and they.
I thought it was going to be like a Sky Captain the World
might be.
Tomorrow
Yeah.
kind of show.
It might be. I don't know.
Did
Maybe.
you like that movie?
I found it really enjoyable.
I enjoyed it too.
Don
I
Cheadle's
enjoyed
Captain
that movie. A lot of people didn't, I don't think. Because I don't think a lot of people went in with the mind frame I went into.
I watched it not recently, but like a year or two ago.
Yeah.
The CGI does not hold up.
It didn't really hold up at the time.
No. It's very apparent that it's not real.
Yeah. I think that's kind of the point, though, because like even back in the 40s,
Some of it,
the
but a
CGI
lot of stuff that shouldn't necessarily be CGI is.
Yeah.
And it still doesn't look good.
Yeah.
What was this?
Sky Captain in the World of Tomorrow.
Oh.
Jude Law and Angelina Jolie.
And Gwyneth Paltrow, I think. Yes.
Yeah.
It sort of had like a 300
It's the second movie that
aesthetic to it.
Jude Law and Gwyneth. Because
No, they're in the first one. Sky Captain of the World is Tomorrow
No,
has Jude Law,
I'm-
Gwyneth Paltrow, and
no, I'm
Angelina
saying Jude
Jolie.
Law and Gwyneth Paltrow have been in another movie together, haven't they?
Jude Law and Gwyneth Paltrow. Let me think. What movie were they in together?
Elizabeth Moss has Instagram now.
Oh yeah.
Who?
Exactly. She's Peggy from Mad Men.
Oh, okay, yeah. Oh, Elizabeth Moss.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I'm such an idiot. I'm sorry. I knew who that was. Yeah.
So
Mad Men started yesterday for YouTube, tomorrow for radio.
So NBC is ordered a new Muppet Show, which is fantastic.
Okay.
Because I love the original. Like I remember in my childhood renting VHS copies of the Muppet Show and watching.
And it's
them.
NBC, so you know they're going to let it run for at least 3 seasons.
Yeah.
Joey.
And
Maybe
that's
next
one big
season we'll get
news.
more
And
views.
apparently Fargo, the show, apparently they've cast somebody as Ronald Reagan. Apparently it is Joseph Campbell.
I'm sorry, Joey ran for 2 seasons, not 3 years, 2 seasons.
Jesus.
How do you stretch 2 seasons over 3 years?
And he stretched a season over Joey.
All right, AMC does it all.
Was he he was like the least favorite character
They
of
have good
Friends?
shows.
He was good, but he wasn't. See, that's the problem with Friends.
Hard to watch.
It'd be like
Uh,
it'd be
Friends-
like having a spin-off of Futurama being about Hermes' comrade.
Friends is genuinely the only show
watched
I
that.
can think of. Literally the only
We'll call it
show,
the Cleveland Show.
probably the only show on the planet that does
Man
not have a
Shower.
main character. That's like that is that's actually kind of like a mind-blowing artistic accomplishment to me that they could have made 9 seasons of a show and not have, or 10 seasons or 9 seasons,
Great
a lot of
Spork of
seasons,
New York.
and not have a main character. That's unbelievable. Big props, mad props, all the
Can you
props.
fix your headphones? That's really bugging me how they're tied around the loop of that computer. Thank you.
No problem. We're gonna be cluing up now in about a minute and a half.
My favorite moment from Futurama with Hermes is when he's gonna get fired and he knows he's gonna get fired. He's like, great something of some place.
I think we're gonna clue up now.
Okay.
Thank you for tuning in. Remember to tune in for all the rest of the week for all that content, and also
Nobody tunes
next
in
Monday.
anymore. Click play.
Game of Thrones starts
Remember
next
to
week.
click play next
Oh
week.
yeah, Game of Thrones starts, and Daredevil. Don't forget about Daredevil, everybody, on April 10th,
Game of Thrones.
and
I
watch
want to buy
it.
a knob-controlled mouse. It's like X and Y axes of the
mean-
Oh,
mouse.
okay, yeah.
Where you control with knobs.
Just etch a sketch to
Yeah.
computer.
Does that exist? I want to
Maybe
make
not.
that. if
I'm
it's
sorry,
on-
I gotta stop the show before Adam keeps doing that. This drove me
Bye.
insane.